Welcome back, guys. Welcome to the Roaring Twenties. No. Wait a minute. As I recall, you owe me a favor. Wait, huh? Seriously? You're doing this now? Yeah. You can't exactly start a podcast off by saying, Welcome to the Roaring Twenties, with no oomph or pizzazz. How about we do it my way? This will be considered payment. Tiny, it was just an orange. Just an orange, huh? Folks, I hate to start things off like this, but there's something you need to know. It was maybe a Tuesday, maybe a Wednesday, foggy like a dame with a secret. I'm standing outside Sal's fruit stand, minding my own beeswax, when this wise guy wannabe, skinny as a pool cue and twice as slicked back, saunters by. Now Sal, he's got these oranges, right? Big, juicy things that kind of make your eyeballs water just by looking at them. Well, this punk, he thinks he's smooth, reaches in, quick as a pickpocket in a crowded subway, and snatches one. Just like that. No how do you do, no nothing. Now Sal, he sees this. His face goes from rosy like a ripe tomato to white like a peeled potato that's seen some things. He looks at me, his eyes bugging out. Frankie, he whispers, did you see that? He just took it. Now, I gotta uphold the neighborhood code, you know? Like a blatant citrus heist ain't going for business. So I give the skinny punk the old come hither finger. He acts all surprised like he just discovered pockets. Hey, I says, my voice smooth as a freshly paved street. That orange you got there looks mighty familiar. Belongs to a friend of mine. A friend who appreciates proper transactions. Now the kid tries to play it cool, starts whistling some dumb tune. Orange? I don't know nothing about no orange. Now, I could have gone the usual route, the where'd you get it or else routine, but I was feeling a little autistic that day. See, kid, I says, leaning in close enough for him to smell my expensive cologne. You know, the green bottle. Polo green, I think it's called. The kind that hints at danger, you dig? That orange, it's got sentimental value. Sal here, he picked that one. Supposed to be for his pet goldfish, little Finny, you see? Finny's got a vitamin deficiency, and that particular orange, that's the only one that'll cure him. What? Oh my gosh, Tiny, that's not how that's quiet over there in the peanut gallery. I'm the one telling this story, you dig? Shush. Now the kid's looking confused now, like a pigeon trying to understand algebra. A goldfish needs an orange? This ain't your average goldfish, pal. Finny's got connections. Powerful fins in high places, you understand? Now the kid's eyes widen. He's probably picturing a goldfish with a tiny little Tommy gun. He coughs, real nervous like. Look, mister, I didn't know. Here. He shoves the orange back at Sal, practically throws it. Well, Sal takes it, still looking bewildered. I give the little kid a nod. That's a good boy. Next time remember to ask. And maybe bring a little something for Finny. He likes tiny shrimp. You know, the expensive kind. Well, the kid practically sprints down the street. Sal looks at the orange, then back at me, then back at the orange. Frankie, he says, my goldfish doesn't even like oranges. I just shrug. Details, Sal. It's all in the details. The important thing is we got the orange back, and the punk learned a valuable lesson about respecting aquatic dietary needs. Now, on with the point of today's podcast. Just wanted to, set the tone. So you're just going to take over my podcast now? I gave the fruit back to you, dude. Speaking of fruits. Alright, see, you got your regular fruit, right? Like a nice solid apple. Does its job. Everybody knows what it is. Dependable, straightforward. Then you got, let's say, I don't know, a mango. Now, a mango's still a fruit, no doubt about it. Juicy, sweet, got its own kind of flair. It's a little more exotic, maybe. Not everyone's first pick, but the folks who like it really like it. It's out there, doing its own thing, not hurting nobody. And then you got, well, you got your star fruit. Now, a star fruit, that's a different kind of animal altogether. It's still a fruit, technically. You can eat it, but look at it. It's all pointy and dramatic. It's making a statement just by existing. It's walking into the fruit bowl and everyone else is like, whoa, look at that one. It's got a certain pizzazz. So yeah, they're all fruit. They all come from trees, mostly. But they got their own, personalities. Some are just plain apples doing their thing. Some are like mangoes, just got a little extra something. But then you got the star fruit, the one that's just fabulous. You get what I'm saying? They're all good in their own way. Adds a little flavor to the fruit salad of life, So where was I? Ah, yes. Welcome to the Roaring Twenties, where the booze is bootleg, the dames are dazzling, and the only thing more dangerous than us gangsters is trying to mount a decent play on Broadway. Today we're going to dive headfirst into the hilarious chaos of bullets over Broadway. A musical artistic integrity clashes spectacularly with the persuasive power of the mob-fueled underworld. Damn, kid. That was some powerful writing there. Now, Bullets Over Broadway the musical is a jukebox musical written by six-decade career filmmaker and comedian Mr. Woody Allen. Based on the 1994 film of the same name, the story consists of David Shane, a struggling but idealistic young playwright who finally gets his big break when a wealthy mob-connected producer agrees to finance his new play, God of Our Fathers. However, there's a little catch. The producer insists on casting his utterly talentless but glamorous girlfriend, Olive Neal, in a leading role. To make matters more complicated, Olive comes with her imposing gangster bodyguard, Cheech, who surprisingly turns out to have a real knack for rewriting David's play, offering insightful, yet often violent, suggestions that actually improve the script. Now, the 1994 film, set in 1920s New York City, centered around a struggling playwright who is urged to cast the talentless girlfriend of a notorious mobster in his newest play in order to get it produced. So, this playwright, see, he's finally got a producer for his masterpiece. Champagne corks are practically popping off in his tiny cockroach-infested apartment. Then the producer leans in and says, "There's just one teensy-weensy condition. My girlfriend, Olive, she's got a star. She's enthusiastic." The playwright gulps. Enthusiastic? Can she, act? The producer just smiles thinly and gestures to a couple of guys in very shiny suits standing by the door. Let's just say her enthusiasm is compelling. Think of it as a method acting. If she forgets her lines, the method is fear. But later, the playwright's having a meltdown with his friend. I wrote this profound drama about the human condition, and now I have to direct a woman who thinks motivation is what you shout when someone's running a marathon, all because her boyfriend could probably make my kneecaps disappear. His friend shrugs. Hey, look on the bright side. At least you know your play will have a killer opening. Well, a hit it was. The film was nominated for 7 Academy Awards, including Best Original Screenplay. Janet Maslin of the New York Times described the film as a bright, energetic, sometimes side-splitting comedy with vital matters on its mind, precisely the kind of sharp-edged farce Allen has always done best. Todd McCarthy of Variety similarly called it a backstage comedy bolstered by healthy shots of prohibition gangster melodrama and romantic entanglements, and wrote, in its mixing of showbiz and gangsters, this is a nice companion piece, and about as amusing as Allen's Broadway Danny Rose. Well, work on a musical version of Bullitt started in 2000, with the late Marvin Hamlish and Craig Cornelia writing the music and Allen writing the book. Now, in an earlier interview, Allen said that he had resisted turning the film into a musical for years, having no interest in a musical. However, his sister Letty Aronson thought that it could be done as a period musical, and Allen then became interested. Marvin Hamlish played a few of the new songs for Allen, but Allen did not think that they were right for the show. His sister then proposed the idea of using songs of the 1920s, and it suddenly came to life. Now, the production had its world premiere at Broadway's St. James Theatre in April of 2014, running for 156 performances, and the cast starred former musical theater actress, the late Medwin Mazzy, actor and filmmaker Zach Braff, former Tony-nominated Canadian actor and singer, the late Nick Caldero, Tony-winning actress, singer, and dancer Karen Ziemba, Italian-American actor best known for playing mafioso Big Pussy Salvatore on HBO's The Sopranos, Vincent Pastore, and stage, film, and television actor Brooks Ashmanskas. Now, according to Stage Grade, the reviews were mixed, with some praising and some panning the musical. Ben Brantley, in his review for the New York Times, called the musical occasionally funny, but mostly just loud. Elisa Gardner, in her review for the USA Today, commented that the musical has playful wit and exuberance, and wrote that Bullets offers as much sheer, shameless fun as any show you're going to see this season. And so, the curtain falls on this gloriously absurd world of Bullets over Broadway. Damn, that was short. We've witnessed the hilarious collision of the unexpected brilliance that can emerge from the most threatening of sources, and the enduring struggle of a playwright just trying to make a living without ending up in cement shoes. Hey, Tiny, I got the cement. All right, see, the boss, he had a little disagreement. A real, sticky situation, you know? So he looks at me, Frankie, the fixer fingers, and he says, Frankie, he says, this guy's gotta take a permanent vacation. Underwater, comprende? So I make a few calls, race a few palms. Not literally, I mean, this ain't a hand lotion commercial. And I tell my guy, we need the heavy stuff. The kind that ain't floating no arguments. He gives me this look like he's suddenly auditioned for a silent movie, raises his eyebrows all dramatic-like, and just nods real slow. You know, the nod. The one that says, yeah, Frankie, I got the foundation materials for his new swimming lessons. The kind where he ain't coming up for air. So yeah, boss got what he wanted. The situation solidified. Permanently. Let's just say this fella's sleeping with the fishes. And they ain't complaining about the extra weight in their neighborhood. You catch my drift? Hold that thought. Like I was trying to say before I was so rudely interrupted by talentless professionals in shiny suits, what I was trying to say was that inspiration can strike from the strangest places, and sometimes the most forceful suggestions can actually lead to something surprisingly good. Talentless professionals? What's with the talentless crack? We got skills, see? Specialized skills. Yeah, like what? Tripping over your own feet during a discreet delivery? Or maybe your uncanny ability to spill marinara sauce on every single white tablecloth in a 5-mile radius. That was one time with the tablecloth, and I didn't trip. I was strategically repositioning myself for optimal observation. Observation of the floor, maybe. Look, Sal, we're supposed to be professionals. We're moving merchandise. We're persuading folks. We're making sure debts get recollected. That ain't exactly brain surgery, but it ain't amateur hour either. Oh, so now you're Mr. High and Mighty Professional. Last week I saw you try to persuade a guy by offering him a cannoli first. A cannoli, Tiny. That's not intimidation. That's dessert. It was a very persuasive cannoli. The guy looked hungry. Yeah, hungry for a way to escape your, I don't know, culinary coercion. We're supposed to be feared, Tiny. Feared. Not remembered as the guys who offered pastries before breaking kneecaps. Well, maybe if you stopped leaving a trail of loose change and cough drops at every untraceable location, we'd be a little more professional. Those are my lucky cough drops. They bring us, unconspicuousness. Hey, who's the boss here? Don't forget about it. Inconspicuousness? Right. Just like your bright yellow getaway car. Real subtle, Sal. Real subtle. We're professionals, alright? Professionally challenged. Alright, listen up, podcaster. You got a name, right? Never mind. You don't know me, I don't know you. But I overheard you mentioning suggestions. Well, for starters, mind if I call you, I don't know. How about Skip? The surface scratcher. Cause, you're just scratching the surface. That was a joke. I'm known as Tiny Tony, but I'm actually quite large. Kid, that was another joke. Come on. Now let's just say opportunity knocks for once. Unless you grease the door hinges, then knocks whenever you want. Let's see, never bring a knife to a gunfight. Unless it's a really nice knife. Makes a statement, you know? Loyalty is like a good dame. Hard to find and worth keeping. But if she starts singing to the wrong crowd, well, you gotta know when to change the record. Know what I'm saying? Honesty is the best policy. When you're talking to your lawyer, everyone else, let's just say a little creative storytelling never hurt nobody. Much. Remember, kid, money talks. Sometimes it screams, especially when it's wrapped in a rubber band and being waved in someone's face. And then the most important thing, always look sharp. A good suit and a confident swagger can get you further than a whole lot of fancy talk. Plus, it makes you look good when they're taking your picture for the newspaper. You know what I'm talking about? Hey. Sure. Anyway, folks, may you always find the humor in life's unexpected twists, and perhaps think twice before criticizing anyone with a particularly intimidating entourage. Guys, look at this. You're looking spiffy. Look at these suit jackets. Men's Warehouse? Spiffy. My boys spiffy? They ain't exactly choir boys. They're like a fine set of, well, let's say, persuasion tools. They're loyal, mostly, as long as you keep them fed and pointed in the right direction. Think of them like well-meaning but easily distracted attack dogs. Don't ever forget their names, or their favorite way to convince someone. Frankie here, he likes the quiet approach. Guido, not so much. Mix them up and you might find yourself on the receiving end of a friendly reminder. Kid, they ain't the sharpest knives in the drawer, some of them, but they're damn good at carrying them. So keep the plan simple, 1 or 2 steps max. Anything more and they start looking at each other like they're trying to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded. Guys, it's just turning the colors to make a match. How hard is that, huh? And never try to intimidate them. Kid, you hired them for a reason. You start flexing too hard, they might just decide to test your own persuasion skills. And trust me, you're gonna lose that argument. 1 second. Hey, Guido, that thing you're waving around looks a little too friendly pointed in my direction. Here's a little free advice, straight from a guy who knows a thing or two about unfriendly situations. Put the goddamn heater down, would ya? He's just doing a podcast, okay? Unless you're trying to give me a tan, and that's that check this ain't exactly Miami Beach. And particularly intimidating entourage, you say? Yeah, they might look scary, and they are. But underneath all that, well, they're still more scary. Just remember that treat them with a certain cautious respect, like you would a caged tiger, a tiger who knows where you sleep. So yeah, my entourage, they're a package deal. Intimidating as hell, mostly reliable, and require a whole lot of careful management. You get the picture? Now if you excuse me, Guido's looking at that guy a little too intently. Gotta go have a chat. Hey, Guido! Oh my god, sorry about that, guys. Until our next theatrical adventure, keep your script sharp and your associates, well, I don't know. Maybe just keep an eye on them.